Listen up. If your oatmeal looks like this, you're sabotaging your body without knowing it. I'm Dr. Isabella Morgan, and in my practice, I see the same pattern every single day. People over 60 convinced they're eating healthy, but actually triggering inflammation, blood sugar chaos, and nutrient deficiencies. In the next few minutes, I'm revealing the 7 mistakes that turn a superfood into a metabolic disaster. And mistake number 4, it's the portion trap that's secretly making you gain weight even though you think you're doing everything right. Now, I've spent 2 decades studying how food impacts aging, and honestly, it kills me watching good people get terrible advice. They walk into my office proud of their daily oatmeal routine. I smile, but inside I know we need to talk because I've watched that innocent bowl contribute to weight gain, energy crashes, bloating, and worsening prediabetes. This isn't rare. It's an epidemic. But here's the good news. You don't need to quit oatmeal. Prepared correctly, it's a fiber powerhouse loaded with beta-glucan, which actually lowers cholesterol, protects your heart, and stabilizes blood sugar. The problem was never the oats. It's how you're making them. My promise is simple. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what's going wrong and how to fix it. Plus, I'm giving you my golden formula, the foolproof method for building the perfect bowl that actually works for your body, not against it. So, pay attention because we're about to destroy some myths and transform your breakfast forever. Think of oatmeal like a high-performance vehicle. It has the potential to win the race for your health. But if you put in the wrong fuel or handle it poorly, you won't just lose the race, you'll blow the engine completely. The mistakes we're covering today are exactly that. The wrong fuel that's breaking down your metabolic engine piece by piece. Ready to learn how to drive your health like a professional? Let's dive into the most common mistake of them all. Mistake number 1, choosing the wrong oats, the instant oatmeal trap. First mistake happens before you even get home from the grocery store. You're standing in the cereal aisle, you're in a hurry, and you grab instant oatmeal. I completely get it. The packages are bright and shiny. They promise complete nutrition in just 60 seconds. It's tempting, especially when you're rushing in the morning and you want something quick and easy. But here's what they don't tell you on that colorful box with all those health claims. To cook that fast, to be ready in a single minute. Those oats got absolutely pulverized. They've been pre-cooked at the factory, then dried, then rolled paper thin until they're almost dust. And this entire industrial process destroys most of their natural structure and their beneficial fiber. This makes your body process them in a completely different way than whole oats. When you lose that complex fiber structure, the carbohydrates get absorbed almost as fast as straight table sugar. Think about that for a second. You're eating what you think is a healthy whole grain breakfast, but your body is responding to it almost like you ate candy. The result? Your blood sugar spikes hard and fast within minutes. Then your pancreas rushes to pump out massive amounts of insulin to control that spike. This violent up and down cycle leaves you feeling hungry and craving sugary snacks by mid-morning. It promotes fat storage around your midsection. And over time, when you do this day after day, it increases your risk of developing insulin resistance, which is the direct road to type 2 diabetes. And we haven't even talked about what else is hiding in those little packets. Most of them are absolutely loaded with added sugars, artificial flavorings, preservatives, and who knows what else. You're paying extra money for significantly worse nutrition. It's the complete opposite of what you want. I had a patient, Margaret, who came to see me because she couldn't understand why she was gaining weight despite eating healthy. She told me proudly that she started every single day with instant oatmeal, the kind that comes in individual packets. When I explained what was actually happening in her body, she was shocked. She switched to real oats, made a few other changes I'm going to share with you, and within 3 months, she'd lost 15 lbs, and her energy was completely transformed. The fix is incredibly simple. Go back to basics. Ignore those colorful boxes that are practically screaming for your attention with their health claims and pictures of happy people. Look for the plain, simple bags that contain old-fashioned rolled oats, or even better, the absolute best option, steel-cut oats. Traditional rolled oats are just flattened with rollers. They keep their fiber completely intact. They take between 5 and 10 minutes to cook, and that's where the magic happens. That cooking time means they still have their structure. Steel-cut oats are even better nutritionally. These are oat grows that have been chopped into pieces with steel blades. They take about 20 to 30 minutes of cooking time. It sounds like a lot, but you can make a big batch on Sunday and reheat portions throughout the week. It's absolutely worth it for the nutritional benefits. Read the ingredient label carefully. It should say only one thing: 100% whole grain oats. That's it, a single ingredient. If you see sugar listed anywhere, or a long paragraph of ingredients you can't pronounce, or terms like natural and artificial flavors, put it back on the shelf and walk away. You deserve better than that. Mistake number 2, overcooking it until it turns into paste. The second mistake is something many people actually think is the correct way to do it. They cook oatmeal for a long time until it becomes this thick, gummy, pastel-like consistency. They think that soft, mushy texture means it's properly done, that it's ready to eat. But that wallpaper paste texture is actually sabotaging your entire breakfast and destroying most of the benefits. When you subject oats to very high heat for a prolonged period of time, you're literally destroying their delicate nutrients molecule by molecule. Some of the B-complex vitamins, particularly thiamine, which is vitamin B1, and riboflavin, which is B2, are extremely heat-sensitive, and they break down significantly under high temperatures. You're essentially evaporating and destroying part of the good stuff you were trying to eat in the first place. It's like burning money. But even more important than the vitamin loss, excessive heat fundamentally affects the structure of the beta-glucan fiber. This is the star player, the reason oatmeal is so healthy. Instead of forming that beneficial viscous gel in your intestines that physically traps cholesterol particles and slows down sugar absorption, overcooked fiber loses a substantial portion of its effectiveness. The molecular structure breaks down. You're left with something that looks like oatmeal, smells like oatmeal, but doesn't work like oatmeal anymore. You get the calories without the benefits. And while it's not the primary concern, specifically with oatmeal, cooking at very high heat, especially when you're using milk instead of water, can contribute to the formation of pro-inflammatory compounds called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs for short. These compounds accelerate the aging process in your body and increase systemic inflammation. They're linked to everything from wrinkles to heart disease. Not exactly what you want from your healthy breakfast. I remember a gentleman named Robert who complained that oatmeal made him feel bloated and heavy, so he'd given up on it entirely. When I asked him to describe how he prepared it, he told me he cooked it on high heat for 20 minutes until it was very thick and smooth, because that's how his mother made it. No wonder he felt terrible. We changed his cooking method completely, and suddenly oatmeal worked for him. The solution is to cook with care and gentle attention. Use medium to low heat. Never blast it at full power like you're boiling pasta. Let it simmer gently and peacefully with small bubbles coming up. For traditional rolled oats, 5 to 10 minutes is completely sufficient. The goal is for the oat flakes to be tender and fully cooked, but still hold their individual shape. You should feel a slight pleasant texture when you chew, not a pudding or a paste that requires no chewing at all. Here's a professional trick I teach all my patients, and it works every single time. Remove the oats. From the heat, when they still look slightly liquid, maybe even a little soupy. Don't worry about it being too wet. They'll continue to thicken and absorb liquid as they sit and rest for a minute or two off the heat. This way, you avoid overcooking and you keep all those precious, delicate nutrients completely intact and functional. Mistake number 3, eating them without soaking. The hidden nutrient thief. This is the mistake I warned you about at the very beginning. It's one of the most ignored errors in oatmeal preparation, and it has the single biggest impact on your digestion and your body's ability to properly absorb essential minerals. I'm talking about not soaking your oats before cooking them. Most people have never even heard of this step. Oats, like many other grains, seeds, nuts, and legumes, contain something called phytic acid. In the nutrition and medical world, we call this an anti-nutrient. Why do we give it that name? Because this natural molecule can actually bind to and kidnap important minerals in your intestines. Minerals like calcium, iron, zinc, and magnesium. And it prevents your body from absorbing them properly. It literally grabs onto these minerals and escorts them right out of your body without letting you use them. Now let me be very clear and honest here. For most people who eat a varied, balanced diet with lots of different foods, this isn't going to cause severe acute mineral deficiencies. Your body is resilient, and you're getting minerals from multiple sources. But here's my question to you. If you're eating oatmeal every single day, sometimes twice a day, why wouldn't you want to make absolutely sure you're absorbing every possible mineral? Why would you deliberately leave significant benefits on the table? It makes no sense. Plus, and this is really important for many people, especially those with sensitive digestive systems or conditions like irritable bowel syndrome, phytic acid can make digestion considerably more difficult and cause very uncomfortable bloating, gas, and intestinal distress. I've had patients who thought they were intolerant to oats, but it turned out they just needed to soak them properly. The solution is an incredibly easy trick that grandmothers around the world have known for many generations, long before we understood the science behind it. Soak your oats. The soaking process activates an enzyme that naturally exists in the oats called phytase, and this enzyme neutralizes a large portion, somewhere between 50 to 90% of that problematic phytic acid. Here's exactly how to do this step by step. The night before you want to eat your oatmeal, put your measured portion of dry oats in a glass or ceramic bowl. Don't use metal or plastic for this. Cover them with approximately twice the amount of filtered or tap water. Then add a small splash, about a teaspoon, of something acidic, either fresh lemon juice or apple cider vinegar, to help the enzymatic process along even more effectively. The slightly acid environment helps activate that phytase enzyme much faster and more completely. Leave it sitting on your kitchen counter overnight at room temperature. You don't need to refrigerate it. Room temperature is actually better for enzyme activity. In the morning, and this step is important, pour off that soaking water down the drain. Don't cook with it because it contains the phytic acid that leached out. Give the oats a quick rinse under fresh running water in a fine mesh strainer. Then cook them as you normally would using fresh water or milk. Now you have what we call activated oats that are dramatically more digestive and friendly to your gut, with all their minerals ready and bioavailable for your body to actually absorb and use. It takes literally 30 seconds of effort the night before for absolutely massive nutritional benefits. There's no excuse not to do this. Mistake number 4, out of control portions. More is not better here. This mistake is born from a dangerous piece of logic that trips up so many well-intentioned, health-conscious people. The logic goes something like this. If something is healthy and good for me, then I can eat as much of it as I want without any consequences. More must be better, right? Wrong. I've seen countless patients in my office serve themselves absolutely enormous heaping portions of oatmeal, thinking they're doing themselves a massive favor for their health. But the truth is, even with something as healthy as whole grain oatmeal, portion control is absolutely critical and non-negotiable. Oatmeal is primarily a carbohydrate. Yes, it's a very high-quality complex carbohydrate with fiber, but consumed in excessive amounts, it's still a large metabolic load on your system. A portion that's too big can provoke a significant blood sugar spike. Even with all that beneficial fiber present, trying to slow things down, and it causes your body to store the excess energy as adipose tissue, which is fat. The paradox is genuinely painful. That supposedly healthy breakfast that you're so proud of is actually contributing directly to weight gain and expanding your waistline. On top of the blood sugar issue, an overload of fiber, even good soluble fiber, can cause the complete opposite effect of what you wanted and expected. Instead of feeling light, energized, and ready to start your day, you feel heavy, bloated, uncomfortably full, gassy, and sluggish. Too much of even a very good thing stops being good and starts causing problems. I had a patient named David who was eating a huge bowl of oatmeal every morning, probably 2 full cups of dry oats, thinking he was being incredibly healthy. He couldn't understand why he wasn't losing weight despite his healthy breakfast. When we cut his portion to a proper size and added protein and fat, which we'll talk about next, the weight started coming off and his energy improved dramatically. The solution is precision and actual measurement, not guessing. Measure your oats with measuring cups or a kitchen scale. Don't just eyeball it and pour randomly from the container. A standard recommended portion of dry oats for an average adult is 30 to 50 grain, depending on your size and activity level. This translates to roughly between 1 to 3 and 1 to 2 of a standard measuring cup. I know. When you first measure it out, it seems like very little, almost nothing. When you're looking at it dry, sitting in the measuring cup, you might think there's no way that'll fill you up. But remember this absolutely critical point. Oats expand enormously. They nearly triple in volume when you cook them, and they absorb all that water or milk. That small amount will transform into a much more substantial, satisfying portion. Definitely more than enough to fill you up properly, especially, and this is the key connection, especially when you combine it properly with protein and healthy fats. The way I'm about to show you in the next mistake, the combination is what makes it work. Mistake number 5, eating it alone. The lonely carbohydrate problem. You can do absolutely everything correctly up to this point. You went to the store and bought the right kind of whole oats. You soaked them overnight with lemon juice. You measured out the proper portion size. You cooked them gently at the right temperature. But if you sit down at your table and eat that bowl of plain oatmeal with nothing else added to it, you're still missing out on at least half of the potential benefits, and you're setting yourself up for failure. A bowl of oats cooked only in water is almost exclusively carbohydrates, about 80 to 90% carbs. And even though they're good complex carbohydrates with fiber, if you don't pair them strategically with adequate protein and healthy fats, the digestion happens too quickly. You won't stay satisfied and full for very long, and your blood sugar curve won't be nearly as stable as it could and should be. Has this frustrating scenario ever happened to you? You eat what seems like a substantial bowl of oatmeal for breakfast around 7 in the morning. You feel good and satisfied immediately after eating. But then by 9 or 9:30, just 2 hours later, You're absolutely ravenous, genuinely starving, like you didn't eat a single thing for breakfast. Your stomach is growling. You can't concentrate, and you're desperately searching the cabinets or the office kitchen for anything to eat. That's what I call lonely carbohydrate syndrome, and it's extremely common. Here's what's actually happening inside your body. The rapid digestion of those carbohydrates, even complex ones, without protein or fat, to slow things down, causes your blood sugar to rise and then drop again relatively quickly. That drop literally screams at your brain through hormonal signals. The message is urgent and primitive. I need energy immediately right now. This is an emergency. And your brain, responding to what it perceives as a crisis, almost never asks for broccoli or a salad or vegetables. It asks specifically for quick energy, for sugar, for pastries, for chips, for whatever is convenient and fast. This is biology, not a character flaw. Beyond just the satiety and hunger issue, breakfast is a golden nutritional opportunity, especially as we age past 50 and 60, to get substantial high-quality protein into your system early in the day to help combat and slow down the natural muscle loss called sarcopenia that comes inevitably with getting older. Missing that daily opportunity to build and preserve muscle is a significant mistake with long-term consequences for your strength, balance, and independence. The solution is what I call the power trio, and it's non-negotiable in my practice. Carbohydrate. That's your base of oats, plus protein, plus healthy fat. All three macronutrients together. This combination is the scientifically proven magic formula for true lasting satiety, stable energy throughout the entire morning without crashes, balanced blood sugar that doesn't spike and crash, and a breakfast that actually supports your muscles and metabolism. Add a substantial protein source to every single bowl. This could be a generous scoop, maybe a third to half a cup of thick Greek yogurt, which is creamy and delicious and has about 15 to 20 g of protein. It could be a full scoop of high-quality protein powder, whey or plant-based, mixed right into the warm oats where it dissolves beautifully. It could be 2 or 3 tablespoons of chia seeds or ground flax seeds, which also add additional fiber and omega-3 fats. Or, if you want to try something a bit different and adventurous, even a perfectly poached or fried egg placed right on top for a savory version, which might sound strange if you've never tried it, but is absolutely delicious and common in many cultures. Add a healthy fat sauce to provide satiety and help absorb fat-soluble vitamins. A good handful, maybe 1/4 cup of raw walnuts or almonds or pecans, which you can chop or leave whole. A full tablespoon of natural peanut butter or almond butter with no added sugar, just peanuts and maybe salt. Pumpkin seeds or sunflower seeds for a nice crunch and extra minerals. Or even a few slices of creamy avocado if you're going the savory route with the egg, which creates an incredibly satisfying and modern bowl. With these strategic additions, your oatmeal completely transforms from being just a temporary snack or a quick fix into a complete, powerful, properly balanced meal that will genuinely carry you through your entire morning with steady energy, excellent focus, and absolutely zero cravings or hunger pangs. This is how you're supposed to eat breakfast. Mistake number 6, turning it into a secret dessert. This mistake is honestly the one that breaks my heart the most when I see it in my practice. People do it with completely good intentions to make their oatmeal taste better, more enjoyable, more palatable, especially if they're not used to eating whole grains. But in doing so, they completely and totally cancel out all of its health benefits. They might as well be eating a bowl of sugar. I'm talking about adding the wrong kinds of sweeteners. So many patients confess to me, sometimes almost whispering like they're embarrassed, that they only add just a tiny teaspoon of brown sugar or just a nice generous drizzle of honey or maple syrup, thinking that because these are more natural than refined white sugar because they come from bees or trees, they're somehow making a healthy choice. Some people even convince themselves that honey has magical health properties that make the sugar not count. But let me be completely straight and direct with you. Because I care about your health more than I care about being polite to your body at the cellular and hormonal level. Sugar is sugar is sugar. Your pancreas doesn't read labels. Your insulin receptors don't care whether it came from a bee or a sugar cane or a maple tree. They only see glucose molecules flooding into your bloodstream, and they respond accordingly. The moment you pour any form of sugar into your carefully prepared oatmeal, you're actively sabotaging and undermining the entire work of the beta-glucan fiber. Remember its biological superpower. The entire reason we're eating oatmeal in the first place is to slow down and moderate the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream. But when you directly add spoonfuls of sugar to it, it's exactly like pressing the brake pedal and the gas pedal in your car at the exact same time. You provoke the very glucose spike and insulin response you were trying to avoid. You promote systemic inflammation throughout your body. You trigger those terrible, uncontrollable MIDM morning cravings that derail your whole day. And you feed and encourage the growth of harmful bacteria in your gut microbiome, while starving the beneficial bacteria. The solution, and this is actually easier than you think, is to retrain and re-educate your taste buds so you can enjoy natural, subtle sweetness without any added sugars whatsoever. Your taste buds are incredibly adaptable. They change and adjust within just days to a week, and the good news is you have an entire arsenal of intelligent, delicious options that provide sweetness and flavor without the metabolic damage. Ceylon cinnamon is my absolute personal favorite, and I put it on everything. Not only does it provide a wonderful perception of sweetness to your brain, but it actually contains bioactive compounds that help your cells use glucose more efficiently and effectively. It improves insulin sensitivity at the cellular level. It's a genuine win-win situation. Use it generously, a teaspoon or more. Berries are your absolute best friends for adding natural sweetness. Blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, blackberries. They're naturally low in sugar compared to other fruits like bananas or mangoes. They're extremely high in additional fiber, and they're absolutely packed with powerful antioxidants that fight aging and disease. Half a banana, and this detail is important, so listen carefully, not a super ripe banana with brown spots. If you choose a banana that's still slightly green or just barely yellow, it contains significantly more resistant starch, which is incredibly beneficial for your gut health and feeds good bacteria, and doesn't spike your blood sugar nearly as much as a fully ripe spotted banana does. The resistant starch acts more like fiber than sugar. The real power to completely transform your health, to add years to your life and life to your years, truly starts with the very first meal of the day. Breakfast sets the metabolic tone for everything that follows. Thanks for your time. I'm Dr. Isabella Morgan, here to help you take control of your health with practical, science-based tools.